welcome back to my channel. So today is part three of my coloring book collection, and last time I did some European artists or books that I ordered from Europe, and I'm going to continue in that same theme. I think I'll probably have one more after this of books ordered from Europe. I have a lot of books ordered from Europe. Yeah, anyway, we'll get to this. Next video will be next video. So in this, I've got books by Karolina Kubikowska, Mariola Budek, Emmanuelle Colin, Lenka Filonenko, Grazia Salvo. I think that's that for this. So we are going to start with Karolina Kubikowska. This is her Circle of Nature book. This is actually out of this entire stack. This is the only book that I've colored in, which reminds me, I will give the same, what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's not functioning. Yeah, I'll say the same thing that I said in my last videos, which is I'm a slow colorist. It's not a race. Yes, I have a lot of pages that aren't colored or books that aren't colored in. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, whatever. So every book I purchase with the intent that I will color in it. Most of these books I've had for maybe less than a year. So these are books that are going to probably stay in my collection. But as I'm going through this, I am kind of looking at books maybe that with a more critical eye, books that I've had for a few years at this point that maybe just I liked them early on in my coloring journey, but they're just not what I prefer to color now. And I may end up destashing. So far, I mean, this is the third video, and so far I haven't come across any books exactly like that. But, you know, we'll see as we go along. So let's get to it. This is Circle of Nature by Karolina Kubikowska. I absolutely love Karolina Kubikowska's work. I think her books are absolutely gorgeous. I was really intimidated by her art, like about how to color it, until I did color something, and then I fell in love with it. These are colored examples that she gives of her art at the beginning of this book. So there's a couple, you know, pages that are done, and then they have the uncolored version. So anyway, I was really intimidated by her work because it has such like kind of dark lines and like almost like speckled. I don't really know how exactly you would describe that. So I was intimidated by it until I did a page, and then I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorite pages that I've colored, and I can't wait to color more in her books. So this was the page that I did. On this page, I was doing a challenge from Amanda Colors, which I'll link her channel below. She has some really fun like monthly challenges, and one of them is I think it's hashtag AC palette, which is every month she picks one of Sarah Renee Clark's color palette cards, and then you're supposed to color a page using just that. There's a couple extra colors you can use, like skin tones and stuff. So this was one of the months, and so I used a very limited color palette in this, and I used Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils, and then I used marker for basing the skin, and I also used a bit of gold. I think that's gold paint. It's either a gold metallic marker or a gold paint as an accent, which I don't know if you can kind of see that, if the light will catch it. But I had a lot of fun coloring this, and it was, you know, a nice challenge with a limited color palette. And I was relatively happy with how that turned out. So I can't wait to color more in here. She definitely has a very specific style. As you'll see, I have a number of her books, so you'll see that as we go along. This probably is one of my favorite books. It probably is my favorite book that I have of her. I really like the size of it. I like how everything is contained. I cannot get these pages apart. How everything is contained in kind of this circle, hence, you know, Circle of Nature. And I think they're really beautiful images. She does have an Etsy, so I will link her Etsy below. I think that I purchased most of her books. I think I purchased a couple of them from her Etsy, and then I also purchased some of them from Decomade, which I believe Decomade is actually going out of business, or is almost completely out of business at this point, which is a shame because I've used them to get a number of my books from Europe. But her books are still available on her Etsy page, and she also has PDFs. So, you know, if you prefer maybe just trying out an image to see if you'd like it. And some of her books, all of her books aren't on her Etsy because some of them are out of print and they're incredibly hard to find. There's some of my, you know, white whale of books or white unicorns of books that I've been looking for and haven't had any luck finding. So that was Circle of Nature, which came out in 2023. I do have one of her books that I'm actually not going to show in this video, is her memories postcard selection, which I'm going to do a video just of like postcard books and like miniature books. And so I'm going to end up putting it in that. Yeah, see, this I'd ordered from Decomade. I mean, there's their website, but I think that pretty much everything is gone from their site. I don't think they have anything left. So this is Rising. This is a taller, thinner book. Like if you compare it to Circle of Nature, you know, Circle of Nature is kind of a smaller square book. So this is, you know, tall and thin. Beautiful images, still in her style. Some of them kind of creep me out a little bit because they got the, like, you know, the stuff growing out of people, like that. But for the most part, it doesn't bother me that bad. And I just think her images are so unique and so beautiful, just from an art standpoint. I am trying to do a little bit of faster flips. If you guys find that too fast, you know, if you hit the little cog wheel on the video player, you can always slow it down. And if you find it too slow, you can always speed it up. But I am trying to do a little bit faster because these videos have been a bit on the long side. And I am trying to fit more books, hopefully in each video. Because like I've said, I have a lot of books. And so this series is going to take forever at this rate. I'll still be working on it come next year. Haven't broken the spine really in this book. I haven't tried just like, well, I mean, I guess technically I did use pencil. I used the Albert Dürer pencils, and they worked like a charm on this paper. Marker worked really well on this paper, and they are single-sided. So I do think that this paper takes stuff really nicely. You know, she does have, like I said, she has a very distinct style. Some of it is a little macabre, which people don't really enjoy. Some people don't really enjoy, and that's fine. You know, not every artist is for every person. But I don't know, maybe you'll look at this and absolutely fall in love with it and want to buy one of her books. So that is Rising. Beautiful book. Right, this is Imaginary Friends. This is the second edition of this book, which was printed a little bit differently than the first edition was. It's in this, you know, paper sleeve. And then the way the book is done is it folds out like that, and then it has kind of this like glued spine. This was one of her older books, originally. And then, of course, was, you know, reissued for this. So it looks like these were first published in 2018, and then the second revised edition came out in 2024. That's cute. I will say that this kind of binding is not my favorite. Now, whether or not it is more prone to the pages coming out, I don't know yet. It feels like they will, if that makes sense. And I like to keep my books as intact as possible. But if they do, they do. I have a, oh, what is that thing called? A machine where I can ring bind things if I want. So if they do end up coming out, I might end up doing that with it. But I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's holding. And it does kind of, you know, it does lay flat, which is nice. I like that a lot. This is beautiful. I love this. This is a really sweet picture. This I love. This is so cute. I just love her little heart-shaped glasses and the little owl. This is the cover page. These little spooky cats. Hopefully I'm in frame and not too crooked. That's beautiful. That's a little creepy. I don't know if I'd call her that. That's a lot of stuff coming out of somebody's head. Oh, this one, that's interesting. That this one has something on the other side. Then it goes back to being single-sided. Like the little shocked look on the bunny's face. This is beautiful. Sleeves of my hoodie keep falling down. But it's too cold in my house. It's been absolutely frigid here especially the last week. It's been really, really cold. Like we've had temperatures in the negatives. And I'm in the US, so that's negative Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I like that one. That'd be a good one to color for Halloween. Or for October, I guess. Oh, there's one for Mermaid, which is, you know, coming up here in a couple months. Oh, there's another one that is, you know, both sides of the page. You know, lots of pages in this book. And that's the last one. And there's a page to, you know, test your supplies out on. So let's go ahead and put that back in its sleeve. I always have to kind of fight with these to get them back in. Oh. Huh. Yeah, I may do that later. Let's continue on. Okay. So that was it for my Karolina Kubikowskas, except for the postcard book, which will be in a different video. Now we have Mariola Budek, and these I'm going to do incredibly quick flip throughs of because I have full flips of these in other videos, and also because of the way these are bound, I'd have to take this like gripper thing off the side, because otherwise, like, you can't keep that in there in color. It doesn't work that way. So I am just going to do quick flips of these. I've talked about Mariola Budek before. She is absolutely one of my favorite artists. I have actually colored a lot from her, but they've all been PDFs, which I don't have ready access to my PDFs, or else I'd show those. And I also have one of her images in a frame on my wall that I have posted in my coloring room. And then I did another PDF of hers that I had framed and given to my mom a few years back for Mother's Day. But I love her images. She is without a doubt one of my favorite artists. She's so incredibly talented. There's a lot of people who do amazing portraits and amazing hair, but her hair is just the absolute best. Without a doubt, her hair is the best. The paper in these books is super thick, and of course when you actually go to color these, you'll take the spine off and then they become loose pages. So at that point you can pull the page that you want, because obviously you can't break the spine. Like if you break the spine, it's gonna break this plastic bit, and all the pages will come out anyway, so I don't want to do that. It's just when I go to color it, I'll just take the spine thing off of it and pull the page I want. So hopefully you can see this, because again, this book doesn't open that much, but I do have these in, I believe, a haul video where I took the clippy off. This is her, I didn't even say, this is her set of art gold. She has a number of these like set of art books, and I do eventually want to get all of them. And then it has the names of each of the images, and most of these images are available. She has a ton of PDFs on her Etsy, which I will include a link to her Etsy below. Oftentimes she'll have sales on the single images. Sometimes she'll also have sales on the books. And I recommend, if you're going to get her stuff, maybe wait for a sale. And I'd also recommend, just because, especially if you're in the United States, because of shipping costs, maybe purchase a couple of them at a time. The other book I have from her, it's actually not one of her portrait books. It's Cute Friends, which has these absolutely adorable images. Like, they're so cute. Let me get this back in frame. I think I went out a little bit here. These are very cute. I'll also say, because I talk about this in the video where I did the haul of these, I order stuff from everywhere. I order stuff from individual artists. I have never received a packaging with more beautiful packaging and more well packed than I did when I received these books. I think, short of my mailman running the box over, I think these were going to arrive in perfect condition. They were just so beautifully packaged and well packaged, not just beautifully packaged. So I feel very, secure ordering from her on Etsy, knowing that unless something, goes wrong on my end with, the postal service or something, then they'll arrive to me in great shape. And even those, that's so cute. Even though these are like cuter images, like she still kind of has that, her hair's still great, stuff like that. Oh, that's so cute. This one's got a lot of really cute images for fall and for like Christmas. I love this. I colored, I had the PDF of this and I colored that, and it is somewhere in this room. These are very hard to flip because of me not wanting to take the thing off. So cute. And that's, there's 28 images in here. That's all the images in small form. So you can see that. Very cute. And then there's the names of them. All right. Then I have Emmanuelle Colin. This is her newest book. This is their newest book. And I ordered this from Amazon France. Most people see her books. She has these like coloriage books, and they're like probably like yay big. They're not very big at all. And this is a bigger book, and it has 30 pages, but there's 15 images, and there's 2 of each image. She does have a very specific style. It's not a style everybody loves, but I really like it. These are perforated. This is obviously spiral bound, and then they're perforated along here. And I believe, yeah, so it's 15 and then 15. It's not the same images back to back. And then there's, this single page over here, which I believe kind of matches the image on the other side. Her books, I've seen them in various places. I know you can get some of them on Etsy. I have found Amazon France to be the most cost-efficient places to buy them if you're interested in them. And of course, I said it before and I'll say it again. Anytime you order from places like Amazon France, Amazon Japan, Decomade before Decomade went away, or even like Etsy's. Oh, that peeled. That's unfortunate. Well, I guess that's one time when it's really good that there's duplicates. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, that had to happen in shipping, or I don't know. Maybe not, because it's in the middle of the page. That's weird. Oh, that's unfortunate. Anyway, so if you order from any of those places, I really recommend a bigger order, just because it makes the shipping end up being more cost effective than if you just order like one item at a time. That's a really sweet picture. There's another artist who you can get her books on if you like this style of image. I had this problem before when I showed this book in a haul. I compared it to another artist and then couldn't find that artist's book. Here it is. I got books falling over. If you like this style, but you don't necessarily want to spend the money of having these books imported, there is an artist that you can find these books on Amazon. It's Evelyne Vancoetsam, where her books are kind of similar. I mean, you can kind of see, I wouldn't, what is on that? Is that glue? Oh, anyway, I wouldn't say they're exact, but they're kind of in a similar style. And these can be, this artist, she's got, I think, like 3 books, and they can be found on Amazon. They're on Amazon paper though, which kind of sucks, but whereas these books are on really nice paper. I mean, listen to that. And it's kind of textured. Like this paper is going to take pencils like a dream. I have no doubt about it. Have I hit the 15 yet? I don't know. Oh, I love that one. I love that. Oh, and here's the 15. So this is where it starts over, and you get 15, the duplicates. It is kind of an odd sized book to have to keep on the shelf though because of this thing. I might see if there's a way I can cut that off. Maybe use a paper cutter or something. I don't know. Okay. I'll move my soda so I don't knock it over. Okay, this is Lenka Filonenko. I actually have a number of her books from Amazon, and those will be put in an Amazon like coloring book video. But this book is one of her Etsy books, so it's on better paper. I did not purchase this directly from her Etsy. I purchased it secondhand, either through eBay or Mercari, one of the two. I don't remember which. Because I had wanted to see, does this make that big of a difference? or can I just live with the cheaper versions, the Amazon versions? Because her books are quite expensive to get in the United States. The shipping is incredibly high. But I love her images. She has, I like her grayscale. And this paper is obviously nicer than Amazon. It's very smooth. It's very smooth paper. I think that this paper would probably take markers really well. It probably would take pencils, although it doesn't have a lot of tooth to it. She also has an issue of Coloring Heaven. She has like a dance issue. I think that that's still available. And then of course, you know, all of her books, pretty much I think all of her books are available on Amazon printed paper. I think, is that the cover version? Yep, that's the cover. I like that. I like how that's framed. So yeah, that is Victorian Grace. She has I'll put a link to her, both to her Etsy and to her Amazon page. Okay, the next book I have is Grazia Salvo. I purchased a bunch of Grazia Salvo's books. She had like a deal. I don't know if it's still available on her Etsy where you could get like all of her books. And so I purchased it, and I have already destashed 2 of her books. One was like Lady Spring, which I kind of regret destashing because it had some of the Karolina Kubikowska stuff in it, but whatever. So I destashed that, and then she had an Inktober book that I destashed. But these I like. I can't remember. I think I might have done a page in here. I don't remember. Grazia is another artist that she has a very... Oh, I did this page. This was not my best page I've ever done. Yeah. I don't remember what pencils I was using on this, but I had to fight with these pencils on this paper. I think these might have been a cheaper pencil, a very waxy pencil, and they were just not wanting to work. And so I was so done. I was so annoyed that like I didn't go back and do like a lot of shading or anything like that because I was just so frustrated at this page. So this is hands down. I did this in September of 2023. I need to go back to dating my pages. I have a little like stamper, like a date stamp. I need to start using that again because it is handy to know when I do pages. So yeah, this is not one of my favorite pages I've ever done. But it's not oh, and I also did the skin and marker. It's not you know, it was the pencils I was using 100%. But I can always tell when I see one of her works because her girls have such like long necks. She has a very like definitive style. This is beautiful. I think she has some images in one of the new issues of Coloring Heaven, the spring issue. I believe there's a couple of Grazia Salvos in there. Grazia has an Etsy. She also has a Patreon. And I believe that her Patreon is pretty affordable if you like getting PDFs. If you like printing out pages and coloring them on your own paper, I really, really recommend looking up some of your favorite artists on Patreon because a lot of them have incredibly affordable Patreon tiers, which if you don't know what Patreon is, I'll flip through this book and I'll explain Patreon really quick. Patreon is basically a place where you can subscribe to like your favorite content creators, your favorite artists, you know, I think some authors are on there. There's a wide variety of people on there. But I initially started subscribing to people on Patreon through a podcast I listened to. And then I saw someone mention a colorist that I like was on there. And so I looked her up. and realized, you know, there's like different tiers of membership, and with different tiers you can get different rewards every month. And for colorists, that usually involves PDFs. Like you'll get exclusive PDFs. Like Daria Kakersoy is one that I don't know if she is, I don't know if she's slowed down. I'm not going to go there. I can't, because I can't remember for sure, because I change who I am subscribed to all the time. But there's some that it was like $1 and you could get like a page or two a month. There's some that are like $5 and you can get like a page or two a month. It's just really, you know, it's oftentimes more cost effective than, say, buying their downloads on Etsy. Now, of course, if you buy their downloads on Etsy, you get to like pick what you want, but you know what I'm saying. I know Hannah Lynn has a ton of tiers, and one of her tiers actually involves like getting books in addition to all like the PDFs and stuff. So that, you know, that can be, you know, if you want to get all of her books, that can be a great way to do it. Stuff like that. I'll try to put any of these artists that I know have Patreons. I'll try to put a link to their Patreons in the description box, so you can look at that if you'd like. This is Loveliness. One of the rings got bent on this one, so it's not wanting to flip correctly. But her images are beautiful. If you like doing portraits, these are great. I love this one. Okay, I just wanted to make sure of something real quick. So yeah, if you like portraits, if you like flowers, these can be great portraits to do. I like this one a lot. As someone who wears glasses, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that kind of makes me sad. It says, I don't know if you can see that because it's really faint. One of the arms says, "You will be forever with me." And then the one that's an angel says, "I will be forever with you." Oh. I don't know what I was going to say. I got distracted by that. I find the way that she does like some of her grayscale interesting, because, you know, she has great grayscale in the hair. I do really enjoy her hair. And then she has maybe less grayscale on the body. And then when you get to these flowers, you have very little grayscale. I mean, you have some shading, I would say, in the back, but these leaves, those don't really have very much of any grayscale. That is a very creaky spine. I like that some of her characters, a lot of her characters have like tattoos and stuff. I love this one. I think the first thing I ever bought from Grazia Salvo was a PDF of this. I had just read the book Slewfoot by Brahm. If you like horror books, or light horror books, or witchy books, I really, really recommend that book. And obviously that's a book, not a coloring book. It is a great book, but this picture reminded me of the main character in that book. My little tape marker, which shows me my bounds, keeps rolling up, and I have to stick it back down. I need to find something more permanent to put there, because otherwise I end up moving this all around and you end up looking at half a book. So that is this book. Oh, and also her books are also available on Etsy, on Amazon, or not on Etsy. Of course, her books are on Etsy, duh. Her books are also available on Amazon, but they are, of course, not on this paper. They are on Amazon paper. This is her book, Wild Soul, which is a hardback. And I believe she's working on a sequel to this book, I want to say. I love this one. This one might be one of my favorite ones. I just really like the juxtaposition of the person and the animal in each one, and how there's something about the person that kind of corresponds to the animal, I think. Like, or at least you could make it that way, I guess. I really like that one. That owl's gorgeous. Panther. Ducks. That's cute. Red Vulper. Not familiar with a red Vulper. It kind of looks like a fox. I don't know if that's a breed of fox or... Because I would have looked at that and just thought fox. Afghan Hound. A lemur. A deer. Well, I look at that and think reindeer. I don't know. Butterflies. Horse. Chimpanzee, that's cute. I like how these also have like these kind of like black backgrounds. It really, on those, you know, it kind of saves you from having to do stuff. German Shepherd. As someone who's had German Shepherds, I mean, I guess if you color this a certain way, maybe it will look more like a German Shepherd. But just the way it is, it kind of reminds me of a wolf. I don't know. I think maybe if you color it like black and tan, I would think German Shepherd. Lion, that's the cover, I believe. Yeah, that's beautiful. Lamb. Curl-crested Aracari. Huh, I like that it's eating her hair. That's cute. We had, growing up, we had my dad rescued this like baby hawk that he hand raised for a while, and that hawk was obsessed with eating my hair. I have all these pictures from when I was growing up, when I was a kid, where I'm like sitting on the couch and then there's this like little hawk next to me just trying to like munch on my long hair. Giraffes. Caracal. Caracals are beautiful cats. Parrot. Emperor penguins. Leopard, calf, long-haired cat, brown bear, wolf, and that is that book. Okay, guys, we are on to the last book. This is Slavic Beauties by Krystyna Nowak. I got this on DecoMade. I'm not 100% sure where you can get this book still. Especially because I think that this copy is hand numbered. It's 346, I guess, out of 350. I don't know. I will take a look around Etsy to see if I can find anybody selling this book on Etsy. If there is any book in this collection that I am thinking about destashing, it is possibly this one. And the main reason is because there is, not all of these are grayscale, I don't think. I think there's some that are, oh, maybe not. I don't know. I don't necessarily love this style of grayscale, is all it is. Beautiful images, though. Don't get me wrong, beautiful images. And I may end up keeping it. Yeah. I also like how she gives these like little, you know, talks about the different pictures, which I think is interesting. You know, I really like this one. I like how I think the hair has a little bit more detail, and I like the darkness on it. Whereas this one I don't think is quite as that way. So I don't know. This might end up going in my destash pile. Haven't decided. Either way, I'm not getting rid of anything until I do all of these videos, and then I have them all together, and then I will decide for sure. These are still, I mean, these are still beautiful images. I just don't think that they are, I don't think they're detailed enough for me. I think that is the problem. Like for me personally, is I wish that they were a little bit more detailed. I do like this though. Is this the cover? Yeah, it is. It is the cover. I like how it's framed in with the bow and stuff. That's cute. I do really like these little explanations she has, like this one with the little dog. It says, Bingo. As a child, I used to have a dog named Bingo. He was a little tyke with a feisty character. I think more than one donkey could learn from some stubbornness from him. It's cute. As someone who had a Chihuahua, I miss desperately, by the way. They're stubborn little dogs. Not going there. All right. That one's pretty. I like her hair. It's kind of different. Like how she has different, you know, body types in here. That's nice. See, now I like these more, these kind of like darker, but then at the same time, these might border on being too dark. But see, I love this one. This is why I go back and forth, and this is why, you know, I'm going to put things in a pile and then I'm going to decide at the end, because I don't want to, you know, rush to get rid of something and then regret it later. See, I love that. That's really pretty. I don't know. So that is the last one in there. That is Slavic Beauties. I think she also had a book that was like Polish Queens or something. Like, I don't know if that was the name of it, but I think that it was like famous women in like Polish history, I think royals and stuff, that I had really wanted and couldn't find. So anyway, so that is all of those. Yeah. Next week, I guess, we will do, either more, I'll go through more European books, or I'm going to move on to, I kind of want to get, my books are organized in such a way, I kind of want to get the top shelf done, but that's a couple different sections. So I don't know, we might go with more, we might go to some Japanese books, Japanese, Korean books next week. Also, I'm going to have like a small haul video coming up. You know, I said I wasn't going to buy anything else. Cue that Maury Povich, you know, the lie detector proved that was a lie meme, because, yeah, I don't have that many supplies, but I do have, you know, a number of books, but it's all stuff through January, very beginning, I'd say, of February. But I will get that up later this week, along with another coloring book collection video. So that is it. I hope everybody has a good week. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.